ut vitam habeant, that they may have life. This episcopal motto of His Grace, Most Reverend Dr. Valerian Maduka Okeke, encapsulates the vision and mission guiding his pastoral actions as the Archbishop of Onitsha. He is such a visionary leader who understands that human beings can be emancipated and empowered to live a good life only when they are properly educated and formed. It is against this backdrop that one understands the unparalleled and massive work of transformation he has done in the mission schools in the Archdiocese of Onitsha. Before he came on board, most of these schools were the shadow of their former selves, as dilapidation, infrastructural decay, and general neglect were the order of the day. But by the sheer work and hard work, determination, and the passion to improve the lives of the young people, Archbishop Val has indeed succeeded in transforming these schools into world-class citadels of learning and houses of formation.
I must begin by affirming the fact that the episcopal administration of the Most Reverend Valerian Maduka Okeke, the Archbishop of Onitsha and the Metropolitan of Onitsha Ecclesiastical Province, has yielded a lot of returns, especially in the educational sector, precisely at the secondary school levels. Going from CKC to KROC, Mata and Mabili Secondary School here, our school, and to many other Catholic secondary schools within the enclave of Onitsha Archdiocese, you could see what His Grace has been able to achieve, both in terms of infrastructural revolution. The schools, when they were handed over by the government of P2B, were almost next to dilapidation. But His Grace has been able, through a sheer hard work, to revamp these schools infrastructurally and also in terms of the academic output. So the work he has done cuts across structures, but goes beyond that to touch the critical areas of human formation, quality educational services. And it is because of this revolution which he has brought into the schools, by cleaning up things after the schools were handed over, making sure that students have the best environment, and then equipping these schools with the best capable hands to manage them effectively. It is because of all of these things that our school precisely has been able to achieve lots of laurels, both at the local government level, at the Anambra state level, going beyond that to the federal level, and even to the international level. Like in recent past, our school was one of the 3 schools that represented Nigeria in faraway Malaysia in the bilateral debate competition that featured Nigeria, Malaysia, and some other countries. Went all the way to that place and won the gold, and brought it back to Nigeria. And then outside that also, we talk about the SAGE National Competition, an entrepreneurship competition that was organized in Ogun State, Abeokuta, 2 years ago. Our school also went there and took the 2nd position at the national level, and the year afterwards improved on her performance and took the 1st position in Abuja in the same competition. And then outside the academic competition, we also have competitions in the field of sports. For example, currently Mata Amabilis is the Anambra State champion of the female basketball, organized annually by Milo. And also in the area of music, just 2 years ago as well, we went to Unizik and participated in the musical competition organized by the Lily and Ike Foundation there in Unizik. We beat all the schools that took part in that competition and also won the gold. And the list continues. Lots of positive development, lots of progress, lots of achievement recorded by Martha Amabile Secondary School and also other Catholic schools within the Archdiocese of Onitsha, thanks to the administrative acumen of His Grace, the Most Reverend Valerian Maduka Okeke, a man who has a burning passion to transform the youth, a man that is in love with education, a man that is best described as a go-getter in terms of excellence in educational formation of the students.
Queen of the Rosary College, Onitsha, is one of the mission schools in the Archdiocese of Onitsha. In the year 2010, QRC is one of the schools handed over to the mission. Before the handover of the school, QRC, the school was completely dilapidated in all its ramifications. The buildings were collapsing, the roofs and the ceilings falling off, the hostels nothing to write home about, no library, no ICT lab, the access road, no road to the quarters. The school was completely dilapidated. So when the school was handed over to His Grace, Most Reverend Dr. Valerian Maduka Okeke, to be the proprietor of the school, he took the bull by the horn and delved into the development of the school in all its ramifications. He started with its administrative block and the classrooms. He upgraded, reconstructed, and constructed, renovated all the classrooms and the administrative blocks to a standard that is conducive for teaching and learning. From there, he moved over to the hostels. That's nothing to write home about, and build up so many ultra-modern hostels where the students feel relaxed, secured, loved, and beloved, and free to study. From there, he moved to the labs. He started with the science laboratories, physics, chemistry lab, ICT labs, all those things. He renovated them, equipped them to an international standard. A walk to the site will convince you what he has done. We have ultra-modern library where we have books, relevant books for the students and the teachers. The ICT Academy he introduced in the school opened the students to learn ICT skills that enables them to compete with their counterparts all over the world. So this opened the children to compete with their counterparts wherever, starting with the general external exams. They excels in their WAEC and NECO exam in B average level. They take JAM, they excel from 280, 300 and above. That opened the door for them to universities. They also engaged in competitions within the state that enabled them to represent the state in the national, and they won so many trophies from the national award and represented Nigeria international competitions. There, they won the National Diamond Challenge in 2021. The first position in all high schools. They competed with them. In 2023 also, the World Silver, second position in World Affairs Challenge. That opened them to more avenues and more opportunities to compete with high schools and their counterparts all over the world. The compound were uplifted and upgraded, that whoever comes into the compound will begin to appreciate the effort of His Grace. The access road he constructed around the compound enables the children to feel free and their abilities and capabilities are being harnessed.
His Grace, Most Reverend Dr. Valerian Maduka Okeke, has always maintained a mandate, and the mandate is to get souls, train little children as they are still young, and then catch them as they are still young so that the society will be better. So with this mandate, we have been putting his mandate into the processes of our developments here. First of all, he has helped us develop structurally in the school environment. When you look around, you will see that today St. John's College Alor is wearing a look that makes it stay very much apart from its level schools in Anambra State. The classrooms are equipped, the classrooms are good, the hostels are also good. We have ultra-modern hostel for the students, which we opened the Archbishop Commission on the 18th. He actually did more than 60% of the work we have there, because it was started by the government, but the Archbishop took it up and gave it the look it is having now. So the students are sleeping well, staying well in their hostels, and when they feel comfortable, they come to the classrooms again, they are comfortable. And the emphasis of the Archbishop on the teachers has also made the school to grow. So with all this, we can say that we are very much equipped with the support of the Archbishop to do beyond the curriculum. He has supported us physically, morally, spiritually. St. John's College Alor has gotten a name to itself over the years, winning laurels round the world. At the local government level, the St. John's College is the college to be beaten. At the state level, last year we got the best school in mathematics and science. We also got positions in Peter Mahdi competition in science. We became champions 2 years ago in the Southeast and South-South competition in science and mathematics. About 4 years ago, we also won bronze in International Festival of Engineering, Science and Technology, which took place in Monstil, Tunisia. And we are still moving further and further every day. If it's about winning laurels, we stay high among our peers. If it's about internal development and the training of the students, character formation stays in front of us. So the Archbishop has done greatly. In fact, if I'm allowed to say, I will say arguably, unarguably, whatever it is, educational apostolate and development can be said to have defined the episcopacy of the Archbishop more than every other area.
And when we inherited this school back again from government, the entire structure was in serious ruin. Dilapidations everywhere. In fact, there was no structure standing in this St. Kizito. So we started with reconstruction. We erected a lot of structures, the administrative block, classroom block, the hostels, the refectory, the chapel. We had students gathered together to offer prayers to God. In fact, the entire structure here was newly reconstructed. Some started from foundation. So that was actually what happened, because we met almost nothing when we came here. But when we were coming, we discovered that immediately you enter here, we experience an aura of perfection, the excellence. And that was the culture the Archbishop initiated, the culture of excellence, to give back the society and then retrain our youth that we are scattered as a result of the chaotic situation we had with the government intake of our schools. And since that time, St. Kizito also has started the second option, which is rehabilitation, being engineered by our dear Archbishop. Rehabilitation of teachers, a lot of program, Archbishops, teachers ongoing formation, because they are the ones who are the drivers of this new reformation that he set out to do. And then the reformation of students, that is the third R, students started having a new orientation with regards to education, so that they will be able to compete among their counterparts out there. They are being trained to have a holistic formation. And then for the last decades, the St. Kizito Girls Secondary School of Maduka having achieved a lot in terms of structure, in terms of capital, human development, formation of teachers, and then the students as well. We have created a culture of excellence, and students have won a lot of gifts. But Archbishop started with his, a competition we call our food school, Archbishop Valerian Okeke Science Competition. The St. Kizito Girls Secondary School Maduka took an overall first position in that competition. We repeated the same feat in 2020, 2022, and then 2023. We also engaged in another external competitions, the ANCOPS. We participated in ANCOPS. We won all the schools in Anambra State and then represented Anambra in Nigeria for that competition. And we did very well. Also, we engaged ourselves in another competition organized by Professor Peter Ejiofor, Igbo competition, and we took overall first position. And also another essay competition organized by a digital organization, System Spec Essay Competition 2023 Children's Day Essay Competition, which we also participated, and we performed very well in that competition. Among so many other competitions we engaged in since that moment the Archbishop took over the school, when it was returned back to the original owners by government, we have been performing excellently and creditably well. Also, the character formation of students had also improved tremendously. This is no longer a moment where students will be in school. Some of them engage themselves in hard drugs, disrespect, but these days, students calmly enter into school, respect to teachers, respect to their parents, and then have the mindset of becoming future leaders. That why they are in school is just to make ends meet, become a better person, and then become the drivers of positive change in the society. And that is the mantra of the Archbishop. And then that Latin out there which says, Nelo Sadis Niki Optimum. That is, nothing, only the best is good enough.
From school to school, from college to college, the success story continues. Here in CKC, within the space of 3 years, we constructed a new fence, put the frontage of the compound in order. All the classrooms in this college are tiled. They have specific customized furniture of different colors to align with each classroom. Recently, we have also constructed the most expansive and modern refectory in any secondary school in Nigeria. It is in Onitsha Archdiocese. It is in CKC, Onitsha. And then the best chapel where children in Catholic schools are expected to pray. They are expected to gather for devotion and prayers. We have also ensured that there is water running, purified water running in the school, the basketball court, sports facilities. In fact, the facilities in this college may be qualified as second to none in most secondary schools in Nigeria. That is because the Archbishop Valerian Maduka Okeke has given us the impetus and given us the latitude to operate. So I thank him for that. Talking about academic laurels, we just had JAMB. This year's JAMB is most difficult in all the JAMBs that has been taken in the last 3 years. But even now, schools in Onitsha Archdiocese have students scoring 300. In this college, our best students scored 303 in this year's JAMB. And we had a lot of them scoring 290, 280, so many of them. More than half of them scored over 200. But when you look at the general statistics of JAMB this year, you will understand that Onitsha Archdiocese is standing tall. You can see the same in all the schools in the Archdiocese. We have won laurels. In 2020, CKC was given the award as the school with the third best aggregate score in WAEC. We have also, 2 years ago, the NDLA quiz competition, science quiz. CKC won the national first position in that competition. We have also seen the ICANN competition, Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. They organized the competition and CKC took the first position again. We have also seen that this year, what you call the World Affairs Challenge, which is a global competition of the entire world. I was at World Denver in the United States to receive the award of CKC as the first position, the first school, the school with the first place in that competition in the entire world. The school that came second there is a school from Turkey, and the school that came third, I met them in the United States. These are signs that the Archbishop Valerian Maduka Okeke led Catholic education, in fact, is revolutionary.
It might interest you to know that in 2013 and 14, a student of St. Anthony of Padua High School was the best student in BESE, that is Basic Education Certificate Examination in Anambra State, in the person of Edwin Glory, and she won the first position for that examination. Also in 2021 and 2022, our students headed the parliament, Anambra State Parliament, for consecutive 3 years. And also in our beloved institution, we have plan on course, and we have started the program already to involve robotics that we aid our students to advance in science and technology. Also, we hope to have more international relations with other schools abroad so that our students can easily compete with them and even beat them in such engagement.
A hard task started because the destruction was enormous. St. Charles College was unrecognizable as a Catholic school before the Archbishop entered into it. Now, transformation of St. Charles College has taken place infrastructure-wise. Nobody who was a student here or a teacher here coming back will recognize the school. Sometimes they proclaim that this is not St. Charles College. We used to know that everywhere has changed. But that's only one aspect of the change. And it hasn't come easy because it has taken a lot of resources, a lot of commitment, and a lot of integrity to be able to generate such resources and managerial competence to be able to channel them to yield maximum output. Then you see from the entrance gate, the new buildings, new hostels, new classroom blocks, a whole building dedicated to the study of the sciences. But then, what is structure without the persons to maintain them or to run the structures? So, at the same time that efforts were focused on rebuilding the structures and building new ones to be future-proof, effort was not spared on building the students, the children themselves. And to build the children themselves, we need to reorient and form the teachers too. So the Archbishop committed a lot of resources in training manpower that will help re-engineer the school. And I was fortunate to be one of those who were trained. I pursued my postgraduate education in Rome, and when I reached Rome, the Archbishop took care of my fees from the bachelor's, this after ordination, through the master's to PhD level, all to be able to work in the school, to understand what needs to be done and to be competent enough to do that. And today, I'm proud to say that the results are obvious, even for the blind to see.
Our Archbishop, the Most Reverend Valerian Maduka Okeke, the Archbishop of Onitsha and Metropolitan of Onitsha Ecclesiastical Province, believes in investing in the human person. In fact, for him, investment in the human person is top priority, especially in the young people. Holy Family Youth Village a cluster of hostels that gives accommodation to about 1,000 university students, graduates, and undergraduates alike. It's one of those facilities which he established within his episcopacy. In fact, we started in 2009, and we have been here till now. In terms of facilities, it has remained a primus inter pares, the first of its kind. The first of its kind in Africa, not just in Nigeria, but as far as I know, in Africa. Talking about the facilities, the hostel, you can describe it as a 4-twin hostel. Hostels A, B, C, and D. A, B, and D for females, 750 young girls, university students, and hostel C for males. In terms of the facilities provided, he conceived a vision, and he actually actualized that vision that human beings should be treated as human beings and not as animals. This is the only hostel in the entire Nigeria where you have just 2 students in a room. Everything is provided. You don't have to come in with mattress or bed or anything. Everything is provided in every room. You have the foams factory fitted, you have the tables, you have your reading lamp, you have your bookshelf, you have your seat. Everything is provided in every room, and every room is self-contained. That's about our rooms. Apart from that, he's aware that we have unusual weather in Nigeria. There are moments we have what I may describe as cold weather in Nigeria. For Westerners, it may not be cold enough, but for us Africans, it's very cold. That's the Harmattan period, especially within the periods of November, December, up until February. And because he knew that students would be discomforted because of this immediate change in weather, he also discovered that many get sick such periods. The hostel is also fitted with hot water, provision of hot water, so that if you feel cold, you can just go there, fetch your hot water, shower with it without any problem. And then he also knows the problem we have with the provision of water in Nigeria. Every person is independent of the government. Government does not provide water to any person. So he fitted the hostel with 2 deep scientific boreholes, very deep indeed. One is 740 feet, the other one is 570 feet. And I can tell you that every room you have enough water. He also bought 40 kVA genset just for the water, so that when we don't have power, we can always turn on the generator to provide water. That's why water runs in every room, inside the rooms and also outside, the 24 hours every day. For these 14 years we have been here, we have never lacked water. We also know that we suffer from epilepsy in terms of power supply, electricity in Nigeria. It's not for the Holy Family Youth Village, my brother, because he also tried to provide solar system. You can't believe it, but we have 24 hours power supply by solar energy. If there's no power from the government, solar picks up immediately. And then he also gave us 250 kVA genset and another 350 kVA genset, so that in the night, because solar is not able to provide electricity in every part of every room, so you are short of 5 hours power supply from the genset. He provided the hostel with 7 functioning buses. I mean functioning buses, really functioning. In fact, some of them air conditioned. Like the one I drive is fully air conditioned. And every day we take students from here to their respective departments. People in other hostels can always get to the university gate, enter Keke and Pepe, enter Okada and all those stuff. People in the Holy Family Youth Village, you don't have to do anything. Just come down from your room, enter the bus, you're taken to your department, dropped in your department. When you're done with your lectures, you come out again. The bus that runs for the entire hours we have lectures will just pick you up and bring you back to the hostel. He's also concerned about the security of these young people. That's why this hostel is also provided with a police outpost, so that we have policemen attached to this hostel, not to bully students, not to terrify students, but to ensure their security. And to the glory of God, for the 14 years we have stayed here, this is the only hostel that we have never had anything like robbery, brigandry, or students being attacked. In fact, every night, our police, our security men, they patrol in and around the hostel to make sure that students are protected. That's about the security. Coming to sports, he believes that men sano in corporal sano. A healthy mind is in a healthy body. And so what he has done is to provide us with, call it FIFA graded football pitch. In fact, as I'm talking to you, in my own faculty, our team in the faculty, they come here to use our pitch. That's the best pitch here because we don't have such even in the university. It's provided by the Archbishop himself, so that these young men can go to school, come back in the evening, they're in the football pitch, they do their training, they exercise themselves. Apart from the football pitch, you also have the basketball pitch, you have the volleyball pitch, you have 2 lawn tennis courts. And then in terms of academics, from our record, every year we have like 91 to 92% of people graduating from here with at least second class honors upper division. And then first class, thanks to the Archbishop, if you lived here and you make first class, usually he will give you 100,000 naira to encourage you to even move on. In fact, it is on record that a few years ago when we were housing medical students of Chukwuemeka Ojukwu University, their best graduating student lived here by name Nan, a doctor, now staying in the UK. That lady won 7 awards. The best graduating student, 7, every award given that day, she won all of them, 7 different awards. And we now have representatives because of the high intellectual acumen of people that have lived here. We have people like Francis Okafor, who today is in China. Now he's into robotic engineering under 100% scholarship from Chinese government. He read mechanical engineering here in Nigeria, and while he was here, he was able, within here, coming from a very poor family, he was able to learn 13 different musical instruments, and with that he was able to pay for himself in the university. He also learned Chinese language, and as soon as Chinese government discovered him, they just picked him up, gave him scholarship. Together with another lady that made first class in law, now she's doing international law also in China, 100% scholarship, by name is Chinwekele. Chinwekele is the name. She's now there doing international law under 100% scholarship. We have representatives in the US, so every part of the country presently, thanks to what they learned from here. In fact, our new church building, these guys surprised me. They heard we are building a church, and the 2 of them came back from overseas. They said our name must be here because this place made us what we are today. They decided to sponsor the window for the church. Not all the windows, but at least they have been able to save money for 2 of the windows. That is amounting to something like 600,000 naira. It is something highly commendable. And it may interest you to know that even though he belongs to the Catholic Church, his concern is not necessarily about Catholicism. No, there's no discrimination here. We have Muslims, we have Pentecostals, we have Catholics, we have Protestants, we have all of them here, and we relate very well, and the formation is holistic for every person. Health-wise, let me tell you, we have clinic managed by a doctor, a nurse, and a lab technician. We also have lab, so that when you get sick, you don't need to run out and start going to one lab from one lab to another. We also have our own lab here, so that you just go there for your laboratory test. And then he also provided the hostel with an ambulance, so that if we are not able to handle it here, we can easily rush you down to the university clinic or even to teaching hospital Lamak. We are really very, very grateful to them. I just want to emphasize that of all these things I've mentioned, and even the ones I have not mentioned, it may interest you to note that it's like they're getting all these things free of charge. Transportation is free, you don't pay nothing. They are feeding. Every hostel is provided with kitchen. If you want to cook privately, you can cook. If you don't want to cook privately, you go to our common kitchen. That's from where we also eat. The priests' reason is to be sure that the food is good, is top notch. Now, you may be surprised to hear that in Nigeria, where a plate of food costs 1,200 naira, here it's still 400 naira. Thanks to the Archbishop, who always provides us with some help, food items, bags of rice, beans, cows, in order to augment with whatever we have, just as to help these students. Also, the cost of the hostel is unimaginable. Whereas other hostels we pay from 250,000 naira to 300,000 naira. What they pay here, what they paid this academic year, those who were here before, they paid 60,000 naira. New intakes now paid 80,000 naira for the entire academic year. Apart from this, you don't pay any other thing. There's nothing like hostel fee, water fee, electricity bill, and all this stuff. No, you just pay your 60,000 naira or 80,000 naira, as the case may be, and that's it. You're taken to school, you're brought back, you eat your food, you do whatever you want to do, you sleep comfortably, you wake up a happy person and a fulfilled person. And remember, his intention for this is to train future leaders, people who will go out and become ambassadors of our nation, their country, Nigeria, ambassadors of Christ, and above all, true representatives in the whole world.
The shining legacy of Archbishop Valerian Maduka Okeke in the educational sector continues in his latest project, the Shanahan University, Onitsha. The very first university to be situated in the commercial town of the ancient city of Onitsha. When fully completed, this tertiary institute of learning will play a huge role in redefining the social-cultural outlook of Onitsha and our environs in terms of shaping popular opinion, the local mode of thinking, the prevalent conventions, and the general way of life of the people. Designed to house the most cutting-edge facilities and planned to be manned by competent personnel, the Shanahan University will indeed be a major key player in the committee and leagues of universities in Nigeria by the time it becomes fully operational. Congratulations, Archbishop Valerian Maduka Okeke, for your transformative leadership in the Archdiocese of Onitsha. May the Almighty God continue to protect and provide for you as you shoulder on.